My client had bulletproof terms and conditions, but they didn't apply. They weren't effective. And that's a common mistake that happens to many business owners, but that will not happen to you after you watched this video. Hello, entrepreneurs and future business owners, and welcome back to my legal crash course for business owners. This is video number 3, and today we are talking about terms and conditions, the house rules of your business. If you've missed the last video about contracts, and if you want to know more about when you need terms and conditions compared to contracts, I will link a video that I have dedicated only to this question. What do terms and conditions actually mean? We all know the term terms and conditions, T&C. In German, it's the AGB, the general terms and conditions. But have you ever asked yourself, terms for what? Conditions for what? So terms, details for your customer, how it will be to work with you, to work with your business, to buy a service, maybe buy a digital product. And this can include terms like the pricing, the payment deadlines, or the currency. Conditions, on the other hand, are the what ifs. What happens if the customer wants a refund? What if the customer doesn't pay? What if the product has a mistake? Terms set up the agreement and conditions explain the consequences. Now you can maybe imagine why you need terms and conditions. You want to set clear expectations with your customers to avoid misunderstandings, to avoid potential disputes before they happen. You want to protect your business from liability. You also want to protect your IP, especially the copyright of your content. You want to ensure that you get paid on time. You want to ensure that you can set the terms for your business. That means you can decide what currency the customer needs to pay. You decide which jurisdiction will apply. How will you make sure that your terms and conditions actually apply? That's super important because just a few weeks ago, that happened to a client of mine. She had really great bulletproof terms and conditions, but they didn't apply to her business. Why? Because it's not enough if you have your terms and conditions somewhere on your website. That's a great start. But to make them legally binding, you clearly need to refer to them before you sell or before the contract is signed. So best case, you have a checkbox somewhere or you mention it in the contracts. There's a pop-up on your website and you directly need to link to the terms and conditions, or at least your website where it's easy to find the terms and conditions. So make sure that the customer actively accepts the terms and conditions. What are the most important terms and conditions that you need? So number 1, there's the scope of service. What do you actually sell? A service, a product, the price and the payment terms. What's the exact price? When is the payment due for the customer to pay? Do you offer refunds? Is there a refund policy? Is there maybe a fee for a later payment? Then the delivery and the fulfillment. So for physical products, that would be something like the shipping terms, timelines, who covers maybe return shipping payments. And for services, this is the expected delivery time and format. It's very transparent. If you can tell the customer before, that is the delivery time where you can get the service. Cancellation and refund policy I will link in the description a very nice and important post that you need to read if your business is inside the European Union, because that can be a great risk for the first 14 days of after your customer bought a service or your customer bought a product. Make sure that this is detailed in your terms and conditions, the possibility for the customer if you allow a refund, and this is really crucial to avoid unnecessary refunds, complaints, and chargebacks. Another term is the liability limitations. For the case that maybe something goes wrong, maybe you can exclude certain liabilities. Something for business coaches would be that you cannot guarantee a certain business success, because that's something that your clients needs to work on. Your clients really needs to give you all the information. Your client needs to make sure that he or she really works on tips that you gave them. The intellectual property. Who owns the contents? You want to stay the owner of your content, especially your materials, your content, your social media content maybe, and especially if you sell digital products, this is very important. Maybe what kind of license does the customer get? And don't forget the term about the governing law and the applicable jurisdiction, and choose the country wisely. Important, especially for international businesses, especially if you have customers from all over the world. Make sure that your own jurisdiction of the country where your business is based in applies. You maybe ask yourself, how can I start? Can I start from nowhere writing my own terms and conditions? Can I copy and paste from competitors and individualize it? If you just copy paste the terms and conditions from your competitors, you could violate their copyrights. And not only that, you really need to make sure that the terms and conditions really apply to your business. So make sure to individualize them, because a freelancer's terms and conditions or the one from a coach will be very different compared to an online store with digital products, and an online store that has physical products will be again very different. There is a homework for you. Yes, that's the first time I'm really giving you a task to do at home, or maybe stop the video or do it directly afterwards. Really take 5 minutes, or better half an hour, but 5 minutes is enough. Find 3 competitors from your industry and read their terms and conditions. Ask yourself 3 questions. What do you like about these terms and conditions? What's missing? And how could you take these terms and conditions and make them better or individualize it for your business? Check how they include their terms and conditions. Is there a checkbox? Is there a link at the checkout? Is there a reference in the contracts? If you do that task, this will give you a better understanding of what will work for your business. And if you have questions to this, drop terms and conditions in the comments. If you want me to have a look at your terms and conditions, for example, I could make a video only dedicated to your terms and conditions, and we could go term by term, what's good, what's bad, what's important. And if you want to learn more about the legal necessities for your business, be sure to subscribe, because there will be many more videos in this legal crash course for business owners. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next video.